Welcome to the 5am podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with thought leaders and influencers who are making headway and some waves in their industries. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Dr. Jacopo Iasiello, CEO of Luxury and Wealth Group. Now, picture this, ladies and gentlemen, a young boy from Naples, Italy. He's bitten by the entrepreneurship bug, and at age 11, he goes from there to being his own boss before he turns 18. Now, our guest is not just talking the talk or walking. He's actually walked the walk, from jewelry to real estate, with over 350 deals. And get this, he gets to rub elbows with billionaires and learn from them along the way. Now, here's the kicker. Jacopo has this special MPBE method, and it's all about meditating, mornings, praying, biohacking, and exercise. Now, does this sound a little unusual? Well, it's not. It's his secret sauce for crushing it in real estate. He even wrote a book entitled Healthy, Rich, and Happy. So today, we're getting the inside scoop on turning adversity into cold hard cash. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I roll this intro, please share this podcast with someone you know who needs that win, and he needs the encouragement, or she needs the encouragement, to keep going. Dr. Jacopo, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the 5am podcast.
Michael, it's really a pleasure to invite me in the podcast. And this beautiful name of the podcast, 5am podcast,
Yes.
is with me, because it's part of the method.
That's right. Getting up in the morning, in my case, as a young boy, it was forced into me because I had to go milk cows with my parents, and other things. But hey, it's a great tool to be a morning person. And it's true. Can you talk a little bit about how the early bird actually gets the worm?
Something changed completely my mindset, my life, and everything. Because like you, like other human being in the world, we have really difficulty in our life. We go through difficulty. And I remember like around 6-7 years ago, I read one book. I give the input put in my mind, Miracle Morning of from Harold. I started to read about the importance to wake up early.
Yes.
And, really changed completely my life. I wake up regularly at 4:30 in the morning when I am in Miami, but when I try to do when I travel too, it's not easy. But every day I wake up constantly 4:30 in the morning. It changed completely my mood, everything, because
Yes.
you know better than me, when you see the sun rise,
Yes.
you will have a different kind of energy. And this kind of technique, a lot of people in the past, they use to receive energy. When you see in the morning the sun until 8-9, give you really powerful energy for your day, and change completely my life. It's something so important. But Michael, I want to share something with you.
Yes.
Everything is work for some kind of human being is not necessarily work for other one. What
Yes.
it means, for me, I love it, I enjoy, thanks to the divine God, whatever you want to call it, to bring me this possibility. But, something people, they need to try and understand how for, maybe 1 month, and after they will need this part to wake up.
That's true. It's true. That's great. And I often remember we would call her Beppa. That was our name for our grandmother. My mom would talk very fondly about how much she loved to see the sunrise and the sunset. And so that older generation knew there was something of getting up, hearing the birds, seeing that sun break over the horizon. And now we know it's like that spectrum of light God gave us 2 times in the day to get recharged into our eyeballs, these gateways. And that red light, that spectrum of light that we cannot get any other time. And I love how you say that if you do it for 30 days, you'll probably never go back to sleeping in. Now, let's talk about your journey, how it began in Naples. How did your upbringing and your cultural background shape your entrepreneurial spirit?
Yeah, first of all, I coming from a city where, like capacity of the human over here is to create in general, and not necessarily in business, but over here people is so creative because Napoli is a different, beautiful city, but different city with a lot of problematic, like how a lot of big city they have. Over here I starting my life, I starting my passion, first of all, for other human being, where I started to learn about entrepreneur from really young age. And, not only entrepreneur, but people, they change life. I am really passionate to people possible touch other human being. And this passion is coming at this age. And from over there, Michael, like, I think so. Everybody, I starting a sport, soccer.
Okay.
Where I becoming a profession. I try to becoming professional soccer. I leave my here from Napoli to try to play professional soccer. And I arrive at one point where I have a big injury where I need to change my direction of my life, and everything starting from zero. Thanks God, at that time, really support me, my family, and they help me in the process to moving forward. And what's happening, I find another way to bring my creativity in the world, find the possibility to find one business, take the money from the government, close the shop, go sleep in the shop for 6 months, cry, and a lot of sadness, ask to my father for 8,000 euro to reopen a shop. My father is my hero. He gave me everything in my life. And from over there, I opened more than 20 shop, make this company really successful from money-wise, and travel the world. And after, I have the second drop when in 2000, when I have 28 years old, I need to reinvent another time myself because the business started to lose revenue. Some my partner took my company, and I feel really a lot of sadness, really a lot of difficulty in my heart. And I started to research where I need to reinvent something. See United States, moving in Florida without speak one word in English, slept in the floor because the other part, I remember like yesterday, the guy from FPL, they don't understand me to open the light. A lot of difficulty, but thanks to the divine God, wherever you want to call, I do more than 350 fly flipping, live with my portfolio of property, I travel the world, I enjoy, I try to give love. Sometimes I have the possibility and the energy, sometimes less, but I try to do the best.
Right. And you sound like a very good steward of what God has given you. Now, I want to think back to your young age. I was doing some getting some information for some questions and reading books. I believe that had a very profound impact on your young mind. Can you talk about the books that really had the light bulb come on for you?
Yeah, I need to share with you something. I have two books change my completely mindset. The two person change completely mindset. One is Tony Robbins, and the second one is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And explain why. Because I remember when I read the first time the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, I am already an adult man. I have 18 years old or 17 or something. And I starting to understand how life need to be seen in the correct way to really live with the possibility to create wealth. And the other one, Tony Robbins, is normally is the dad of the motivation.
Yeah.
He changed completely my mindset. But I read all type of the book like Jim Rohn, motivational speech.
Yes.
A lot of them really modified my mindset, and not only the mindset, what I do action in my day every day to bring what I want in my life,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There was a book when I was younger. Well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was a game changer for my wife and I. But there was a book, I believe it was by Jim Rohn. You can't steal second base with your foot on first. And so that was very similar to what the two books that you mentioned would be about. Now, I want to ask you about your venture in having a jewelry store or a chain of stores when you were in Italy. Was there some key lessons from that experience?
Yeah, a
That,
lot of key lesson I wanna tell
yeah,
you
yeah,
because the key lesson in our life, like you, me, other people, they listening this podcast, is coming from the dark moment when no everything is perfect, but when everything go back. And what I learned, first of all, I learned something so important. And now I have this chip in my mind, in
yes,
my back over here, where nobody possible take me. If tomorrow I don't have nothing, I will recreate something. I'm sure 1000%. Why?
yes,
Because business, like life, whatever you want to learn, you have three phases so important. The first one is the research. The second is the growth, and after the action, and the fourth one is contribution. What is means something so important when you are research something. After you started to grow, after you need to put in action, and the action bring you result. If the result you receive is good, you continue for this
yeah,
path. If it's not, you find something else and moving forward with a specific time to dedicate to something and action to do something. I dedicate, for example, for each idea of business I try to bring to the world 1 year of my time where I put all my energy, my effort and everything. And when if it's working 1 year means makes sense. If I don't see big result, I try to understand what's happening. If it's possible, I change. If it's not, I'm moving forward.
yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today did not just travel from Naples to Miami. His jewelry business actually took him to Africa. Can you talk a little about how your search for diamonds and gold took you to that continent?
Yeah, yes. Like, I remember, 2000, 13, 14, 15, and 16, we've been in Africa with my partner, and I've been a really different experiences. Means I have, first of all, different mind age, what this means I'm really uh, pushing, like I want to find, but in a really good experience because what gives me the Africa from the humanity means like this kind human being, they are so happy to really something so small. And in particular, in some country, like you are in one of these, Canada or like United States in particular, where abundance is everywhere, we sometimes forgot. And when we forgot, we don't have the clarity to live born in some country is not for everybody. Somebody born in somewhere, somebody in other place. But if you born in the Canada or in United States, to in Europe, but with less potential, you have an obligation, I think. So the obligation is create more abundance, internal first of all, and I use my method MPBE, and the second of all, to the external with action, clear action to reach what you want, and after do contribution to other human being.
Yes, wonderful. Now, the MPBE method is your central philosophy. So, can you break down those components and explain how it contributes to your success?
Yeah, like the MPB is like really something changed completely my life. I will share with you. From young age, I already do one part of this method, but I don't know why I do. I do exercise because I do sport professional, and after I continue to do sport, but it's missing some part in my happiness. And what's happening? I received this gift from God of the divine when I am in the more dark moment of when I change completely everything. I changed my life from one country over here, Italy, from one city, Napoli, to the other part of the world, without family, without anybody, without know the language, without know anything. And I decide to do, but what's happening at that moment, I feel super sad. And I have one my friend over here in Napoli. He give me this feedback, this time life change because somebody tell you something or give you something. And this guy, I see him with his action have beautiful energy every time. I asked why, and he told me I do meditation transcendental. At that time, go and I practice one time this technique. Initially, for me, it's really difficult because I have each day, I moving like crazy. And after I start to go deeply and with meditation and morning, how I told you before, I wake up 4:30 in the morning. And after I do pray, what this means pray? I pray not generic pray, but activation pray. What this means is something different. Like you know better than me, if you read the old book from different kind of religion, you will find the path, the correct path to our life. Now, normally we are not sent, when sometimes we have the possibility to achieve this one, sometimes no. But what this means pre-activation is something so beautiful, I find. It's not only to pray with a mantra or whatever, but something more profound. First of all, I find some people near me, possible be somebody in my family, somebody, some friend, somebody I met in a podcast, whatever, and I tell the divine God, whatever you want to call, hey, bring energy to him, bring everything, or if somebody has some problem. And after I ask with clarity what I want from the day, from the divine. And I visualize and I tell, hey, today I want to have the podcast where I'm full of energy. I speak with my heart. I don't need I need you tell me the word, and everything is coming from me, and this is the pre-activation I do.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And the third part is a biohacking, and the fourth is exercise. Biohacking, Michael, is something too so important because I use different kind of device to use at working on my subconscious and control my status of energy with some device. And the fourth one, exercise. Normally in the exercise, I will add in plus food. I have specific diet for my phototype of human being, my age and everything. It's the same for exercise. I do exercise specific for my age, my body, my mind, and everything. And, this is the fourth pillar. And inside the book, I explain with clarity and with a lot of research from university why it's so important, this fourth pillar. It's not my work, but this work from people they study this fourth pillar. And in the second part, I explain deeply how create wealth, because I am believing in 1000% in something. First of all, you create your internal abundance, and after you have an obligation to create external abundance, because with external abundance, you possible bring more energy, more love, more possibility for who you love and other people around you,
That's right. Now, I appreciate the way that you've dressed today, looking very nice and professional. And it made me think of when I would fly from Vancouver down to Los Angeles, I would always wear a suit and tie on the flight, and I would get complimented almost every single time by a stewardess saying, thank you for dressing nicely and coming on our plane. Now, can you talk even about how our British friends might say the manners maketh man, but from the Italian point of view, can you talk to us about how the clothing can make the man?
Yeah. And I wanna share with you something so important. I have a moment in my life, and I have no, I love to share, because when you are honest with the world, you will receive honesty. And at one point of my life, I feel so dark. I have one pants, for more than one day, And I remember this, and I connect something for that moment with my energy. It's so important to dress nice.
Yes.
Because, first of all, for you, you will receive the beauty of yourself. Means if you dress like you need to go at the most important event of your life, you will feel like this. And this, if you bring this concept to the business or to the normal life, this give you add some kind of value in your life. Means you don't need to necessarily do something so important. Now it's not necessarily put necessarily a jacket, but try, and this is I share with a lot of people sometimes, try to dress nice, because when you dress nice is like when you see something beautiful, you receive beauty.
Yes.
If you go
It's
in
true.
some area, I don't know if it's happening to you, bad area or poor area, in poor is no means bad, but in the heart it means
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Give beauty, give more beauty. When you
That's right.
dress nice, give you energy. And this is another step to bring to you something.
Amen to that. Now, you've cultivated relationships with high net worth clients, billionaires and millionaires. What was the most surprising thing that you've learned about wealth from these interactions?
Yeah. First of all, I want to share with you something so nice. It's happening in the last year. Sometimes people, they have big success. It's not necessarily they understand the path where they go and why they receive all this success. It's a little bit tricky, this one, and I will explain why. Means I met, I have two my friends, they are billionaires. They are, an example of people, they have something clear in the mind, working every day, like really big focus, where they work, and they cultivate their mind. Really, they are the good example. But I meet in my existence a lot of two people where they don't understand the process, why they arrive at this success. And what's happening is this one, the big difference. The people, they receive the money and they don't understand why they create this money. After, when they have some kind of drop, they don't have the capacity to regenerate. And when they started to do other business with this money, they started to lose everywhere. Other kind of people where they understand, because business is a learning process. Now, if you told me how I need to do the real estate, how I need to build a property, I know step by step. And this is like a business. Business is simple when you learn. And business is a marketing, a different kind of strategy you utilize. And when you understand it, you have in your mind, but you understand the process, you possible replicate in different kind of opportunity of business. This is what I learn. I learn it means like a lot of people, they have a clear step to create. Sometimes what we see, this shyness, they don't understand for themselves too.
Right. And I would say, like, coming from a Christian perspective, there's two things that keep rolling around in my mind is the life and death is in the power of the tongue, and every seed produces after its own kind. And it's the themes of the Lord, of our Creator, are everywhere. We can't get away from it. It's everywhere. Now, your book, The Healthy, Rich, and Happy, in your experience, which of these three elements do people tend to neglect the most?
Therefore, meditation,
Okay.
pray, biohacking, exercise.
Yeah. Right.
If you see, now I need to divide the word, because
Yeah.
if you see United States, you see the last one, exercise, and you see really people, they don't take care about their temple. And if you don't take care about your temple, you're missing one big part. Without health, we don't possible be happy and we don't possible be rich. And this is the truth, is no other thing. And what I see, and I am happy, now a lot of people, they starting to reconnect with their part. And a lot before, I remember when I started to meditate, people, when you told them, hey, I do meditation, they see like you are crazy. Or if you tell them you are pray, what? Pray? Why? You pray for what? And I coming from, a state of where is the Pope, imagine,
Yes. All right.
Now, I started to see, I see two things and I'm happy in the heart. People, they started to understand how it's important to reconnect with their self. And second of all, I see people, they reconnect with the
Yeah.
divine,
Yeah.
God, whatever you want to call, because when the darkness is too much outside, many here, light will coming. And I believe in the next 5 years will come a lot of light for people that search for light.
Yes. Now, let's talk about that relationship between the teacher and the student. And I know that you have a PhD, I believe, international business, correct?
Correct,
Yes.
yes.
So you've studied under some industry leaders and you've built your success. How do you approach to being both a student and a teacher in your field?
Yeah, I want to share with you something. I try to be more student as possible
Yeah.
because I don't have the ego to becoming a teacher. But
Yeah.
when somebody asks me, I don't becoming a teacher because honestly, I have my family. I coming with a lot of love, but to a lot of rules. And when the teacher is somebody give straight rules, close,
Yes.
this means I love to be a student for all my life. But when somebody asks me to give my idea, I try to share with my knowledge to not teaching, but to give what I have.
Yeah. And that fits with the principles of everything you're talking about. We know that when we give, far more will come back to us. That's just how our world has been created. But I want to ask you, looking ahead to the next frontier for you in terms of personal growth and business, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I see myself really clear. First of all, I will live like how I do now in these three areas, Miami, Dubai, and Napoli. I will continue to have my property with some kind of characteristic. I need to be in the water, in front of the water.
Yeah.
And another important part, I am in the phase of my life to becoming, do contribution. Means, I understand how it's important to do contribution to other human beings. And will be for me in the next 5 years for the business, create some kind of project where I possible help two kind of human being, different completely. One will be people, they don't have a place to live, we need homeless. And I already help one association with some my property in Miami, but I want to give something different. I want to give not only a place where people, they will go over there, but a place where they use this method I assembled, meditation, prayer, biohacking, and exercise, where the house speak to them this four pillar clear, because I know this four pillar possible change any life. It's not coming from me, it's every. You told me you have really deeply relationship with God from
Yeah.
your word,
Yeah.
and this is some power you have. A lot of people, they don't have this one. I mean, they want to create real estate related to these people. And why? Watch this, so important. Why is something so important? If these people, they don't have one house now in this moment, they refine their dignity, and they are not finding only dignity, they become better version of their life. They possible become other human being. They change that with the ripple effect, other human being.
Yes.
And the second category in real estate with I will serve will be people with wealth. And I explain better why. These two opposite categories.
Yeah.
Who don't have nothing and who have a lot. Why? Because to these people, they have everything, but the house where they live, they are empty of creation of energy. And because they have the power, means money, to change other people's life, I want to bring in their mind, in their conscious, through the real estate, the meditation, morning pray, biohacking, the exercise, where when they go back to their house, they need to receive a lot of information from different sound, vision and everything,
Yeah.
where they becoming a better human being and they possible serve other human being better. My final goal is to becoming an investor, philanthropic entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's great. So I know that we're drawing to the close of our interview, but I want to ask you a very important question about food and what people choose to put into their bodies. And there's a lot of, neither one of us are trying to sell anything to anybody about the food that we allow to go into our temples, as you said. The diets, the type of food regimen that's specific to an individual. Can you talk a little bit about why choosing what works specifically for our individual needs is so important?
Yeah, I want to share with you something. I try everything and I try to listening the big guru, the less guru, whatever you want to call. But in reality, you are the owner of your temple. And what it means this so easy. If you don't take care about your temple, you will finally have some kind of problem. I possible have some problem if I do everything perfect, but will be more possibility. And if you don't respect your temple, you go in, some not good path. Now, so important is something. In the last 4 years, yes, 3, 4 years, first of all, I understand better the part about integration, okay? What it means, unfortunately, with all the food we have now, without nutriment, if you don't cultivate for yourself and you know what you do, unfortunately, we are missing some. And what I do is this one. First of all, initially, I use integration, like how is in the battle of the integrator. But now I find one company, I don't have any kind of relationship with them, commercial or nothing, where what they do is this one. They first of all do the saliva, the blood test, and for you, they find the correct integration specific for your body. And this one, for my experience in the last 3 years, 4 years, I completely changed my status of energy. Really important. People, they forgot. Diet is not for everybody. Not everybody, we are the same. We need somebody tell us for what is our goal, because my goal is something, your goal is possible to be other different, to create diet specific, and normally after find the correct food, try to find the correct food with the best nutriment and less salt, less. And in Italy, thanks God, when I coming over here, the food is delicious because, it's different, until now. But this is so important. Like exercise. The exercise, some kind of exercise is not for everybody. You need the specific working for yourself. And now in the world, you have the possibility to find company, a professional. They give their advice and you take this kind of advice to create this beautiful temple, not exterior, but for the energy. And after you have this beautiful temple for your energy, you possible go and achieve with less push your goal and everything.
That's right. And we can remember that Chinese proverb that says, men are like teacups. When they're bumped, what's inside comes out.
Super true.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap things up. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on 5am Podcast. Thank you very much.
The same to me.
Thank you. And thank you to our listeners. We really appreciate you being here. It's wonderful to share this conversation with everyone. And I just want to encourage you to look up the Healthy, Rich, and Happy book. We sincerely thank you all for being here with us and listening to the conversation. And may God bless your day.
Have a wonderful day.